Hello, everybody. Hola. Yannis Pappas here. This is your weekly news, serious news podcast where we tell you only the truth, not left or right, not up or down, no bias, straight to it, fact-checked, USDA approved, and 100% vax, taxed, ready to wax. We're vaccinated, we're unvaccinated, we're boosted, and we got ivermectin on call, ready for any emergency that happens. It's the cure-all, be-all, and his name is Yanni, the Greek freak who happens to not be fully Greek because he did a little bit of a 23andMe and found out that he had a couple of ancestors that were held down and impregnated. That's right, I got some Turk in me. But you're not here to hear that. You're here to find out what is going on in the world. And I tell you, we got a lot of fun things to get to today. January 6th is coming up tomorrow, so Uncle Paulie's is having half-off sandwiches. Andy Cohen got fired from CNN, and he doesn't care. He wants to know why he was doing it in the first place. Bill de Blasio. Fuck you! He is right now outside Bill de Blasio's house just ranting. Jon Stewart has a little message for Newsweek in a fun little story that the media tried to make a story, and then Jon Stewart said, bitch. And he had a little fun thing to say to Newsweek. Treated Newsweek like an ex that stole his money. The Jeopardy winner, she is a great woman. She's a great woman, breaking boundaries. I think she just broke records. It's a huge year for women, not a great year for people with wombs, but a great year for women. So good, people were jealous. They tried to rob her right after her Jeopardy winnings. We'll get to that story. Patton Oswalt is a bitch. That's all I got to say about that. Pope Francis is very, very upset that people are not having children and they're having dogs and pets instead. He says it's sad for civilization. You know, civilization, the thing that the Catholic Church tries to destroy. Antonio Brown, what is going on? We got a lot to talk about with Antonio Brown. CTE. Anyway, Plessy versus Ferguson. Plessy versus Ferguson. Just pretend I had an Irish accent and I didn't mispronounce that. Plessy versus Ferguson from 1892 that made segregation the law of the land. Plessy was finally pardoned. I'm pretty sure he appreciates that. Where he's not fucking alive. Little too late. I want to say that to all the ex-girlfriends who are fucking dumped me, who look at how fucking lit I am now, baby. You're too fucking late. You know what Plessy says back to you? Fuck you. You can take your pardon and stick it right up your asshole. The same place you can take this monetization that I just demonetized by cursing within the first minutes and stick it right up your fucking smash bean, because this is LongDays. I'm a delicious maniac. This is the Fediverse. Welcome. Put your fucking goggles on and take your panties off. What's the fucking dollars?
Yannis Pappas. Yeah. When you all tucked up in the day long and the news online going on and on, what's right and wrong, and it's something up. Now here comes a great kid you know you can trust. From the true who's who to the news and cameras to the fake politics and the propaganda. Yeah, this kid screwed in, got a lot to say. Oh shit, it's about to be a long day. It's a long day.
What's up, everybody? Before we start the show, as always, I want to tell you about, if you're watching this now, come see if there's tickets. The show tonight in Dallas, Plano, Texas. I'm here from the 6th to the 8th. Then end of January, I'm going to be in San Diego. Pretty sure Jared Harvin will be with me there. January 20th to the 22nd in San Diego at the American Comedy Company. Then Soul Joel's, February 5th. Can you do that date? Jared Harvin will be with me February 5th at Soul Joel's in Jeffersonville, Pennsylvania. Get your tickets on my website, YannisPappasComedy.com, for all these. February 10th, Side Splitters in Tampa. Then Canada, February 17th through the 19th in Edmonton. Canada, New Westminster, British Columbia from February 24th to the 26th. Bloomington, Minnesota, March 3rd to the 5th. San Antonio, March 24th to the 26th. Mike Suarez will be with me. Phoenix, Arizona, April 14th through the 16th. Hopefully Jared Harvin, I believe, will be with me there as well. So those are my dates. Go see me live, YannisPappasComedy.com. Please go join the Clips page on YouTube as well. Yanni LongDays Clips. Go subscribe to that, patreon.com/Yanni LongDays. Enjoy this episode with me and Jared Harvin in studio for this week at patreon.com/Yanni LongDays. And most importantly, this is how we're doing it in 2022. Just find one friend you think might be into this show. Tell them about the show, or her, or they, or theybies, or newbie. Tell them whoever, and right there we double our numbers. That's how we're doing it. You guys spread the word, continue to post in your stories, and let's start this show. It is a wild one. You're going to love it. Jared Harvin's in studio, finally on camera, because, you know, when Plessy versus Ferguson was finally pardoned, when Plessy was finally pardoned from his crime of trying to sit in a white section of the train, I figured it's time that I can at least put a black man on camera. So, you know, say hello to Jared Harvin. Of course, we got Jesse Scaturo here, and we have a lot to talk about. It's a very fun week. Let's start. We're going to start close to us, and then we're going to expand out to things we don't give a fuck about, which is mostly everything I talk about in here. I don't really care about that. Once you have a baby, you care about like 3-4 people, and when the baby goes to sleep, and the baby, and that's it. My life right now is when the baby goes to sleep. That's when life begins. When the baby's awake, I'm just constantly trying to get the baby to not drink what's under the sink cabinet. My baby, because what happens is, and I'm sure this happens with a lot of babies, a lot of parents go through this, whatever you say no to, your baby thinks it's a game, okay? Because at that point, I think babies have like the intelligence of dogs. So whenever you say no, don't do that, the baby smiles and goes, I'm gonna do that. So every time I glance down at my phone, my baby is closer and closer to trying to do what an alcoholic does when they realize that they have no alcohol left in the house. They drink whatever fucking is under the sink. And if you don't know that, you haven't had any alcoholics in your family, or you haven't lived as long enough as I have to have friends who've had alcoholics in the family, under the sink is a no-no. Okay, so what alcoholics will do is they'll get rid of all the alcohol in their house because they're trying to quit, and they realize, oh, I'm not strong enough to do this. I should have went to AA, and then they go, let me have a drink because I'm stressed. And then they go to the cabinet, and they go, there's nothing in there but cranberry juice. And they go, but there is alcohol in this. This'll do. And that's a true story. I've heard it from multiple people, and they just drink Ajax, they go to the emergency room, and then they get counted as a COVID patient. Anyway. We got some fun stuff. We're going to start close to comedy first. Let's start with the big comedy news of the week.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few. There's two big stories, but let's start with the first one. Patton Oswalt. A lot of you know him from his voice in Ratatouille. Some of you know him from whatever bar show that smells like spilt beer and wet dogs you saw him at. A lot of you know him from mistaking him for a little person. A lot of you know him from getting rejected on trying to get on rides at Great Adventure. A lot of you know him as a guy who looks like he transitioned into a guy. A lot of you guys know him from playing one of the bank goblins in Harry Potter. And some of you know him now for issuing an absolutely heartfelt apology. He took a picture with Adolf Hitler. And that is just no. That is, you are on notice, my friend. You are fucking notice. So what happened was Adolf Hitler invited Patton Oswalt down to perform at his rally in an arena which Patton Oswalt could only hope to ever fill, because there's just not that many white kids with liberal arts degrees who are in between college and having a job. So certain other comedians perform for real people who can afford $50 tickets. And I'm sorry, I'm going in hard on you only because you went in on one of our own for no fucking reason, and then you did a bitch move. It's a bitch move. To quote the great Donnell Rawlings, there's not a lot of bitch ass. Can you say the N-word for me, please?
Niggas.
Yeah, there's a lot of those nowadays, and this era is not made for everybody. So Patton Oswalt was invited down by his old friend Dave Chapelle. They go back 30 years. They've known each other. They're friends from comedy, right? Now, is he from D.C. as well, Patton Oswalt?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so he's like the illegitimate son of some senator who fucked a housekeeper or something, and he grew up in D.C., privileged probably. And, Dave Chappelle's parents also, well off.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle comes from like a well-off home. So I don't know how long they've known each other. And that's just an aside. I'm just giving you some history.
34 years.
34 years they've been. 34 years. Okay, that's as long as I've known Jesse Scatoro. Do you think I would ever go, huh?
That's older than your wife.
That is older than my wife. You know what's funny about Jay Harvin? Like when he wasn't here like a couple weeks and he went into the chat, he had like senioritis in the chat. When you don't care anymore, he's like, fuck this. I'm waiting to I'm in studio now. I don't fucks with this chat. I leave that shit to Drew and Omar as well. Yeah, bro. I don't fucks with this chat anymore. I come in and throw heat now. So yeah, older than my wife. Can you imagine? That would be like if Jesse Scatoro, who I've probably known you 30 years, right? Over
Easy.
30 years.
Yeah,
over 30 years. About 30 years. About 30 plus years. Could you? I mean, what kind of person would I be if something happened in the news with you? That's, by the way, bullshit. And then, like, I took a picture with you, and a couple of strangers commented on my picture and said that they were upset with me. What kind of, just imagine, this is the type of person Patton Oswalt is, deep down. What kind of person would I be? Now that I'm giving you the anatomy of how this goes, if I went and I took a picture of myself writing on a legal pad, all pensive looking, and then posted this long apology letter in this pedantic tone to the greatest comedian of our era. That goes beyond dispute. If he's not the greatest, he's one of the greatest. Okay, it's subjective. He's one of the greatest. You're saying he's learning, he's growing, and you're a fat little portly lesbian-looking white man talking to a black man. If this is not progress in our country, I don't know what this is. That a white man is preaching to a black man on how to be more open-minded. I mean, what is, if up is not down and down is not up, I don't know what's going on. Here he is in his fucking 1950s looking green room on his dumb legal pad with his AirPods in, unquestionably listening to some independent band from Seattle that nobody gives a fuck about. You're 55 years old right now, okay? David Cross has a gray beard, and he's dating a 30-year-old like me. We've moved on, Patton Oswalt. You need to, too. Put some classical music in on those headphones and pretend to be straight and make some children. Go home. Does he have kids?
I think so.
Okay, so you did that. I went a little off our research. As you know, I don't like to do that on this pure news show. I don't like to tell things that aren't true, but he has some kids. They must be very proud of him to see daddy's fucking post. And if they grow up in Portland or Seattle, which is where I assume he has his summer home, then they're happy for him, right? So he posts this apology letter to the people about being seen with Dave. I mean, what kind of dystopian, Orwellian nightmare are we living in that you're treating it like you took a picture with the Night Stalker Richard Ramirez? Dave Chapelle does comedy.
Yep.
You could make a more reasonable argument that his special, which he did devote a lot of time to trans. I mean, he should have just called the special, "Hey, trans people, let's talk." But that aside, you could make a more reasonable argument that special was pro-trans, pro-humanist, more than you can it was anti-trans. By the way, a normal person watching that whole thing, okay? But even if, let's say, he said some transphobic jokes, like the portly, fat, fucking pinkish, illegitimate son of a congressman that I'm talking about right now, because guess who had his videos dug up and has tons of fucking, how should we say, off-color jokes about gays and trans and special needs people, who I happen to have a brother who is special needs, who you called retarded. I don't mind. I wasn't that offended, but I'm going to pretend to be to show how much of a hypocrite you are. I am going to post, actually, I'm committing right now. My next Instagram post will be a picture of me watching a Patton Oswalt special with a disappointed look in my face, and then a long apology letter about how I used to like Patton Oswalt, because he's got some good jokes. I like Patton Oswalt a little bit. How I used to like him, but how disappointed I am, and how much more room he has for growth as someone who's targeting the gay and the retarded communities. Okay, because now people went back and found his old comedy clips where he's saying just as horrible, if not more horrible things than Dave Chapelle. Comedy is saying the wrong thing. You guys are both not running for office. Why did you post an Instagram post like you were fucking Ted Cruz caught with a fucking underage boy in a motel room? That's what I expect. You took a picture and did comedy with Dave Chapelle at a comedy show. Get over yourself. I want to throw everyone into a fucking CCP gulag for a week, or make them vacation in Sudan for 10 minutes. So then they can come back and get some fucking perspective about what an actual criminal is, and what actually his crime is, and what morality fucking is. You know what's not immoral? Making jokes. Did I do that too calm, you think? Should I kick it up a notch?
You gotta dial that up.
Do I need to dial that up? Do I need to give it a little bit more oomph? Am I being a little bit too deadpan?
You gotta put a little passion in there.
I gotta put a little more passion in there.
Yeah.
So he apologized to Dave Chapelle, and then all these videos came out where Patton Oswalt is doing the same thing Dave Chapelle is doing, and then some people in the comments are going, "Oh, but he was making a progressive point," and you're going, "That's not the rules." That's not the rules, because guess who else he went hard on was Shane Gillis, who was a very funny guy. When Shane Gillis got fired from SNL for saying the can you bleep that? I mean, are we children? Just right. So, for saying the word chank, it rhymes with chank. Just change one letter. He was doing it in the character of a real estate investor or salesperson. In the bit on the podcast. So it's the same as Patton Oswalt here. So let's take a look at, this is the clip that Patton Oswalt is doing the same exact thing Shane Gillis was doing when Patton Oswalt also went hard on Shane Gillis. Here it is. Check this out. We got the world's slowest Googler, so just bear with us.
Why isn't it playing?
Come on, man.
It's not working.
I'm going to guess it not playing has more to do with you than it does the internet.
You're probably right.
Come on, man.
Fags want to get married, or some dykes, they want to be men. How the fuck does that affect you, asshole? You know?
Good, clean fun.
Listen, hey, if there's some tranny out there.
Tranny? Fag? Dyke?
I don't want a dick no more. I want a vagina. Then boom, guess what? It's a she now.
It's a she now. He called them it. He called them it. Keep going, because it gets worse.
I don't know. Whatever they want to call themselves, that's it. Don't affect you. So if you see some guy, I don't care if he's got a chooch, it looks like a Boris Karloff horror movie.
Okay, hold on. Let's slow it down, Dennis Miller. Not everyone is an obscure horror movie fan. I know your fans are absolute uselessly educated geeks who think that being smart is knowing about horror movies and having a BA in literature. But let's slow it down a little bit, okay? But it still was pretty funny, okay? Whatever character you're doing, I'm not offended by this. The point is, I'm not saying you did anything bad. What I'm saying you did bad is be a goddamn hypocrite and a snitch bitch, okay? Because you're doing the same exact thing here that Shane Gillis did. You're doing the same exact thing here, but worse than Dave Chapelle did. Because Dave Chapelle, who's a better comic than you in every regard, had a poignant point to his. You know, he had a friend who was trans. Maybe you are trans, but I'd like to see how many trans friends you have. Okay, so I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you weren't as nice to a trans person as Dave Chapelle was. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you are. It still doesn't mean you were doing the same thing here. Jay Harvin, you're a 24-year-old black man in America. What's your view on this?
I just think he's being hypocritical. He's really being hypocritical. Honestly, I can't tell if that's Patton Oswalt or Ralphie May. With the way he's talking.
He does look like if Ralphie May got a stomach staple operation.
Yeah. But in that picture with Dave Chapelle, he looks like Dave Chappelle's stylist. So
He does look like Dave Chappelle's
And you know-
lesbian stylist, or to borrow his parlance, dyke stylist.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know Patton Oswalt's trying to make this seem like it's a bigger deal because he's in the dressing room with the Malcolm X hand over the face, trying to make it seem like he's writing down civil rights, but you know he's not really doing that.
I mean, look at this picture he took. I mean, is this not the most cringe thing that he took a picture of himself pretending to write what he wrote?
It's all performative.
I mean, it's so performative and transparent, and it's kind of sad, man. It's like kind of sad that, you know, comedians are, you know, it's okay to make jokes about each other. I mean, everyone benefits from that, even if it's a little smoke. That's fine. Or if someone does something bad and it's in the news, then that's free game, baby. We're comics. We got to do our job.
Yeah.
As the great Tim Dillon says, we got to do our job. But to morally go after another comedian for what he said on stage is a no-no. That's a 101 of our community. A community doesn't exist anymore, really, and I'm fine with that. But, you know, the 101s of being a comedian is not doing this. Not apologizing to an audience because you take a pic with your old friend. He's a friend of yours, dog. He's a friend of yours who invited you down to perform. Did a nice thing for you. Introduce you to some people who don't smell their fingers before dinner and after dinner, you know? Some fans who don't just smell girls' seats after they stand up. Some people who actually have, you know, working class jobs, you know? Can you imagine Patton Oswalt in front of any ethnic or working class audience? There's just certain comedians who need a specific audience, so just calm the fuck down. You're in the presence of greatness, okay? And he invites you down because he's a nice guy and he smokes cigarettes and he likes to have a good time. You take a picture with him and post it on your own Instagram to big yourself up. And then you catch a little backlash from like 3 people with fucking purple hair. And then you go and write this self-righteous, it's so gross it makes me sick. It makes me want to finger pop his puss. Anyway, it just seems, you know, that just seems like a, you know, it's like if Nate Bargatze, you know, me and Nate, I've known Nate now for, you know, too long, but how long have I had to have to deal with Nate? Nate's one of my closest friends. I've known him for, what is it, 2000 and...
Yeah,
I've known him for a long time.
I've known him long enough
15
to know that
years,
he doesn't
10
wear sandals out in public anymore. Yeah.
yeah. Nate, I don't know. Nate, he's aging Benjamin Button-wise. I mean, he used to look like shit, and now he looks good.
Yeah.
But I've known, it's like if Nate told a joke, which would never happen, but he told a joke that was like offensive. Some people thought it was offensive, like a huge minority of the population thought it was offensive, but there was like a hoopla about it. And then I went and did a show with him. He invited me down to one of his, you know, Christian shows. And, you know, the place was packed with God lovers and Jesus fearers. And it was a great time. Those are real people, good people. I don't judge them at all. I mean, I was born Christian. I'm kind of Christian too, I guess. I don't give a fuck. But that's the side point. I'm digressing. My point is I took a picture with him because I wanted to show that I knew a more famous comic. Okay, because that's true. He's more famous. So, and then I put it on my Instagram, and I caught heat from a few people, and it's my friend, and I posted a picture of a more famous comic than me before, and then I go post another one to try to please and win everybody, and then said Nate's learning, give him time, he's learn. I mean, what kind of like what is the word for that? It's not. Is it pedantic or is it like it's paternalistic?
Sanctimonious.
It's like sanctimonious and self-righteous and paternalistic. You know, like, oh, this boy's learning.
Yeah.
He's figuring it. Shut the fuck up.
It's condescending.
Yeah.
Very condescending.
Why don't you figure out how to make one black person laugh?
Yeah, you're not gonna do it.
Before Patton Oswalt, why don't you learn how to make one person who is not a liberal arts educated white dude from the suburbs laugh? And then maybe you can talk about what Dave Chapelle needs to learn. I'm breaking my pen.
He won't do good in front of black crowds.
A lot of comics won't.
Yeah, black people gonna look at him like, why is my vice principal here?
Or the crossing guard. Or the crossing guard, Tiffany.
True. Tiffany or Timothy, you can't tell.
Or Timothy, either way. Yeah, it's you know, it's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. And that's all I want to say about that. Guys, when you want some more Yanni, Okay, whether you're a sports fan or not, it's a sports show. It's a betting show. We talk about lines. We talk about sports. We have a great time. It's produced. It's for BetMGM. Listen to my other show, Unleashed, every Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts. Apple's a great place, Spotify, wherever. Listen to me and Olivia Harlan Decker, the great Olivia Harlan Decker, talk sports. We're not your typical sports tandem, okay? She's an actual real sports journalist, and you know who I am. So that's what it is. That's our combo, and it's a lot of fun. I love her to death. We have fun, and we have guests on, incredible guests every week. We have guests from ESPN, analysts from ESPN, Hall of Fame former football players, athletes, experts. It runs the gamut. Comedians. So we've been football heavy now. We're getting into basketball, but I absolutely love doing this show for BetMGM Unleashed. So every Thursday, catch your new episode of me and Olivia of Unleashed, brought to you by BetMGM. Let's go. I'll see you on Thursday over there. Another GOAT made news. I think it was more recently. So, now shout out to this kid. I didn't know he was doing good. I did shows with him, I think, at what's the name of that? Comedy Village or whatever we performed at? Dustin's old spot?
The Greenwich Village?
Greenwich Village Comedy Club.
Yeah.
I did a few shows with this kid there.
Jay Jordan.
And he's doing good.
Yeah, very funny.
Okay. Young black dude, gay dude, funny guy, likable guy, very nice guy. I like him very much. He's got a podcast. Is this a podcast here?
Yes, this is a podcast.
Okay, so he somehow he's able to get Jon Stewart. Hey, Jon, I'm available. This kid's been doing comedy for 15 fucking minutes.
This is Jon Stewart's The Problem.
So they're on his show.
Yeah, but Jon Stewart had Robbie Slovic on.
Okay, but yeah, Robbie. I mean, come on, kid's a decent writer, but I'm talking about me, baby. I'm available. Talk to me. Okay? I mean, why not hit me up?
You got to have something, son. You got to be black and gay, or you got to wear beanie caps.
Right, but Robbie Slovic doesn't. Robbie Slovic is one of my favorite people. I love Robbie Slovic. Great guy.
No, I hosted a show.
Robbie's a great guy.
Very good guy.
But like Robbie, you should have called me and said you should go instead. You got more charisma. Robbie's a great writer, very funny comic. I'm just jealous, is what I'm saying. I'm jealous. Jon Stewart's one of the greatest, one of the greats. And I got a little nervous when I saw this. We're going to take you through this whole thing. You may have heard of it already by the time you're watching this, but, let's talk about it. So he's on this podcast, and this is what happens.
Everybody was like, you ever see the scenes in Gringotts Bank? And they're like, I love the scenes in Gringotts Bank. He's like, do you know what those folks that run the bank are? And they're like, what? And they're like, Jews.
And then that person says, no, goblins. And then you go,
you're like,
you hear yourself?
Let me show you this from, it's the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. I just want to show you a caricature. And they're like, oh, look at that. That's from Harry Potter. You're like, no, that's a caricature of a Jew from an anti-Semitic piece of literature. JK Rowling was like, can we get these guys to run our bank? And you're like, it's a wizarding world. It's a world where it's
you can imagine anything.
The train station has a half a thing and no one can see it. And we can ride dragons and you've got a pet owl.
And who runs the bank?
Who should run the bank? Jews.
But not only that,
No,
I feel like she was like, why'd you make it so subtle?
Yeah, I mean, it's real. Like, yeah, they look like Jews. What if the teeth were sharper?
Okay. I was like 11 or 12 and was like, I love Harry Potter. And I remember,
All right,
like,
we don't want to
being in
listen
the
to this
theater.
guy talk. Yeah, enough with him. I never met him, so we don't give him any shine. So, funny, very funny, okay? So then it became, me and Jesse were talking about it earlier, and we're like, oh, Jon Stewart, E2, no. So this is what, just stick with us on this whole thing. So this is what was actually said. I can't see that far, so Jared will read it. Okay, thank you. So this is how they were described in the book. Now they were facing, the goblin was about a head shorter than Harry. He had a swarthy, clever face. Sounds more like me. A pointed beard, and Harry noticed very long fingers and feet. Okay, so that first part, you're going like, all right, JK Rowling, that doesn't sound anything like a caricatures of Jews. No. Because, if you were to take Jon Stewart literally, which of course he didn't want you to take him, and we find that out later if you stick around. If you took him literally, you're going, okay, JK Rowling didn't create the caricature, and by her description, the caricature that was in the movie does not represent how she described it.
Yeah.
So then you're going, okay, then the director may be a Jew hater.
Yeah.
Right? Because the director or the costume designer or them or just whatever did it. So it's not JK Rowling, okay? Like the media wanted to make it because they just wanted to pin something on her for her position on gender. Which is a very progressive position as well. I just saw her recent tweets where she said, I accept that people identify as all types of genders, there's two sexes, and trans people should not be competing in sports. That's her fucking position, which, like I've said many times in this podcast, is everyone's position except for 4 people. Anyway, or except if you just love winning and you're on the Penn swim team and you just like winning. And you're just a teammate of whatever her name is. Her. So that happened. That was the description. Okay. And so then we're sitting there going like, oh boy, is Jon Stewart really calling JK Rowling's anti-Semitic because of these goblins, you know? I mean, they're goblins. And to be honest with you, you look at the goblins. Can we pull up a picture of the goblins right here? If you take a peek at the goblin, it does look like you're taking an afternoon stroll in B&H. I mean, you can, it's like the one with the other one, the one in the middle. No, the third one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, any of them, really. Yeah, I mean, they clearly are goblins, okay? But yeah, they work at a bank, so there's that old, what do you call that? I'm just missing the word. Motif or whatever. Stereotype. The old stereotype. And but they also could be wasp looking, like old wasp with bad skin,
Yeah, looks like Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, but that they're in a bank, you're going like, okay, we're getting close. If Sebastian Maniscalco would go, we're getting close here. So you're going like, okay, I can see where Jon Stewart made the joke. Like all jokes are based in some kernel of truth, whether they're really true or not. This obviously could be an anti-Semitic trope. Trope is the word I was looking for. Trope. Okay, but then you could go to that guy in the Harry Potter Gargamel, the most popular one down there, that one right there, and you could say that guy is like a stereotypical what? Who does he look like?
Looks like Gwyneth Paltrow after a shower.
Yeah. Yeah, he's making fun of Gwyneth Paltrow after a shower. So, yeah, because it's surprising when you see celebrities like when they don't have makeup on. You're like, oh, fuck, Gwyneth. Yeah. So it could. You look at it. If you look at the troll, the goblin, you're going like, okay, maybe that is a trope, right? But then I'm going, I don't see any horns. I haven't heard Israel mentioned. No talk of the West Bank.
Yep.
No shape shifting. And nobody got excited when they saw money. And I'm going like, that's evidence that they're not Jews.
Features don't match up.
Yeah.
It doesn't match up. If you don't see any shape shifting, or if the horns don't pop up, you're going like, it's not a Jew.
Look at those straight hairs on the side.
And,
look at the straight hairs. They ain't
Jesse,
curled.
did you see a tail? I didn't see a tail.
I didn't see a tail.
I didn't see a tail either. Okay? So, what'd you say?
Those straight hairs on the side, they're not curled.
They're not curled. They're not curled. And none of them ask anyone in the movie theater if they're Jewish on a Jewish holiday holding a palm thing. So, and he's not wearing a wool outfit in the middle of August with sweat stains everywhere.
Yes. And none of them have a stuffy nose.
None of them have a stuffy nose or allergies.
Yes.
And so you're going, there's evidence both ways.
Yeah.
Okay? We're joking, of course. But now Jon Stewart goes on some other podcast. I mean, Jon Stewart just loves podcasts where there's one young black person and one young white person. Yeah. Okay?
He's showing his age.
It looks like he's on the same podcast again.
Yep. Is that Verzi?
Is that Verzi? Yeah. Okay, so he's on a podcast again with two young folks, and this is what he says. And this was today he posted this, which is whenever you're watching this. Let's keep the illusion going.
Does this work?
All right.
I don't think it plays when you zoom in. You gotta.
Jesse, can you add? I think you need to start adding Jeopardy music in between when we go. Let's go to it, and when you get it up.
That's a whole Howard thing. Howard does that.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. Why is it? It's not working, Doug. I don't know what happened.
Maybe just refresh it.
We'll edit all this out.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
We are back. We are doing the Twitter.
Yeah, about 2 minutes.
Rowling. Clearly as
Camera one.
2 minutes.
Camera one.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Hello. My name is Jon Stewart. I do not think JK Rowling is anti-Semitic. I did not accuse her of being anti-Semitic. I do not think that the Harry Potter movies are anti-Semitic. I really love the Harry Potter movies, probably too much for a gentleman of my considerable age. So I would just like to say that none of that is true, and not a reasonable person could not have looked at that conversation and not found it lighthearted. So let me say this instead to Newsweek. Your business model
This is great.
is fucking arson. And not the good kind. Not the good kind of arson where they light stuff and control it to prevent forest fires in the future. The kind of arson where you're on the mountain and you've got fucking 5 minutes and you don't know where the dogs are. Like, that's your business model. And now all the shitheads pile into this ridiculously out of context nonsense that you put out there. And let me tell you something, Newsweek. You used to mean something.
This is funny.
You know what I mean? You were my go-to at the airport when the kiosk was out of Time.
When the kiosk was out of Time magazine.
Roasted.
I mean, the kid's funny.
He's funny.
He's like, you were my go-to when they were out of Time magazine. So it's a joke. He's saying I'm a comedian. It's all types of stuff going on here. By the way, also, Jon Stewart, when he said I'm a little too into it for someone my age, that's a pedophile joke. So that's what we do, guys. It doesn't mean Jon Stewart, but we could conceivably someday live in a world where someone takes that clip and goes, Jon Stewart, why do you think that's funny? Why do you think it would be funny that someone would be into kids' movies and have all this type of kids bait to talk to kids about? You know, because whenever I meet a single person who knows a little bit too much about comic book movies, I'm going like, are you married and do you have kids? Because otherwise, I don't want you around my kid.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if you shouldn't know about kids movies unless you have kids. Like if I came in here and was like, guys, I just watched Frozen and it's amazing, you're going like, who are you trying to attract?
Yeah.
You know, what are you trying to hit? Who are you trying to hit on with your knowledge of Frozen? Okay, it could be another mom, but there's got to be there's got to be parenting involved. But so, and this thing became a big thing. And you know what's funny is before he released this video, which I think was very recent, there was huge pylons going like, JK Rowling's a piece of shit. You see, she's got these views on trans people, and she's got, I mean, it gets out of control. It's like that old Nazi saying like, you know, a lie travels faster than, you know, it's like, you know, it's, I don't know if it's a Nazi saying. Someone said a lie travels half around the world. Oh, the lie travels around the world while the truth is getting its shoes on.
Mark Twain. Mark
Twain, the great Mark Twain, who I had a fucking 4-year argument with Bill Burr that he wasn't a stand-up comic. I mean, let me just say this. He was the first stand-up comic. He used to tour, he did an hour, and he got laughs. So,
And he's
I mean,
also drunk.
Call it what you want. Yeah, he was also a drunk, you know, and he worked at the Creek in the Cave working on his bits.
That he had a stage name. Yeah. Samuel Clemens is his real name.
I think he was the first. I would say he was the first. Yeah, Mark Twain was his pen name because back then, like you wanted to distance yourself because you know it was such a like backwards time, and he was such a forward-thinking guy that he didn't want the smoke. You know, like people used to go by pen names so they could avoid like any controversies. Pretty soon comedians are gonna have to do that, and we'll do it. We're gonna have to do comedy behind like one of those, you know, when you do those interviews and you're like a witness in witness protection program. So you'll be watching Dave Chapelle behind like a blurry black screen where like with a voice modulation, and you have no idea who he is. He goes, hi, what's up, my name's Terry something. He has some fake name, because just so we could avoid people, you know, that's the type of time we're living in now for different reasons. But the anatomy is the same. It's getting crazy. And like I said, anyone could just take that clip of Jon Stewart and go like, oh my God, this guy's a pedophile. I mean, it's out of control. So these huge pylons happen now where people are accusing JK Rowling. I mean, she woke up this morning and she's probably going, I'm a Jew hater now too? What happened? And they're like, Jon Stewart did a podcast, and Jon Stewart, and you imagine what her morning was like now, going, like, one of the greatest comedians to ever live now thinks I hate Jews too?
That's tough.
And I got to deal with, and then she goes, hopefully she went and watched that video and feels better and was able to digest her fucking lunch. What people are doing to people is just nuts, okay, for what they said. I don't mind when people get piled on for if they provingly did something wrong, you know? Then you had it coming. You did something. You did something. But, and even then I'm a little like, case by case basis. What did he do, you know? Is it illegal? I mean, you know, you watch the podcast. I did a whole thing on fucking James Franco. But to what you said, and on top of that, it's a comedian? What a comedian said? Newsweek is reporting on what a comedian. When did what comedians say become important? You're just creating content. They go. This is how the news does it now. They go, oh, this will be JK Rowling is trending, because they depend on the trending of Twitter like anything else. You know, because they're goblins. They're little Jew banker goblins. It's a joke. Crazy that I even have to say. So, you know, they go, oh, we can start some smoke with JK Rowling's, and they know that it's people who hate JK Rowling's will pile on, and then they know that the people who think that she's not saying anything crazy, or people who hate gay people, because those people pile in there too. You know, war makes for weird bedfellows, so they pile in, and they know that this war will just, like, you know, it'll create buzz there, and that's why he was raging against their business model. He's going, your business model is shit. And it's coincidental that this happened today, because I happened to post something today about Joe Rogan, who's now become a friend. But, you know, Joe's in the crosshairs of a lot of controversy now. I understand why. You know, this is a grave issue where, you know, people, based on the decisions they make, you know, are at risk of dying or not at risk of dying. What people say can influence people. I get all that. But this is the point I wanted to make about the world we live in today. Okay, we're not going back. The internet is here. You either adapt or you contribute to the demise of our empire. Okay, I don't care that we're an empire. I don't care that we got bases in 220 countries. I just want to go get a slice of pizza and not think about where my iPhone was made again. Okay, I just want to know that nobody can bring smoke to us because we're number one. I don't care. Okay, it's like finding out Michael Jordan was an asshole afterwards. He still got fucking 7 championships. I don't care if he punched Will Perdue in the face. I don't care. Okay, America, we're number one. We're like Michael Jordan. We're a dick. We're a bully, but we get the job done, baby. When you see those fucking drones coming, run for cover. Don't piss us off. Don't piss us off. All right? Whenever you see Tim Kennedy, the Marine, and the boys coming, it's time to fucking hide the hose, sweetheart. We're number one in the world. I just want to get back to that. I don't want to know how the sausage is made. I just want to get back to just having a blind eye and just thinking that China is Taiwan or something. Or just thinking that China is Vietnam. I don't want to know about them creeping up on taking us over. I don't want to hear about Kobe. I'm still in love with Michael. You know, China's like the Kobe Bryant of the NBA. He's coming. And they're imitating all our moves. So here's what I say about Rogan. I say Joe Rogan supported Bernie for president, said Obama's the best president in our lifetime. He said that recently. And he holds many liberal and some conservative views. He's just a guy with opinions like anyone. Indicting him is missing the mark. He lets people talk for hours and has no agenda beyond his own curiosity. Financially, he's beholden to no one. That's true. And that is why people trust him. The mainstream media is in crisis. They're beholden to interests. They didn't adapt well to the digital landscape. They clearly editorialize for clicks. They have no standard beyond views, right? Once they got off the subscription teat, which is more of a pure teat, because if you fuck up, you lose subscribers. If you fuck up here, advertisers don't care as long as the views were big. So that's what happened. They did not adapt to the digital age well. It behooves the media, while we're at it, the government and all industries to take note that they cannot get away with hyperbole or hidden interests anymore. The internet has turned everyone into a reporter. If they don't adapt and adopt the same modern format and standard of transparency Joe uses, this country will dissolve into chaos. If there's no higher standard established for truth and transparency, it'll only foster more mistrust and polarization. Because here's the deal. Joe is flawed, and we all are, but he's an open book. It's true. He's a free man to the fullest extent. He's got fuck you money, okay? And he signed a deal with Spotify that says, you can't fuck with me, obviously, because these episodes would have been taken down if it wasn't in the contract. The media and government are clearly not free. Interests own them. We know this. We know about lobby groups. We know about corporate sponsorships. We know what goes on behind the scenes. We know the influence that corporations, lobby groups have on policy. We know the leverage they have over elections. We know how much money is in the elections. We know how bad that is, and we still haven't done anything about it. Like this is 1997 and Seinfeld's still on the fucking air. Okay? And now the internet's here. Joe Rogan has a podcast. He lets people talk for 3 fucking hours. You know, where was I? He's a free man. The media and government are clearly not. Interests own them. The media cannot compete with the transparency and corporate free independence of a juggernaut of a comic podcaster and cage fighting expert. That's just called facts. Okay, and also I'm kissing his ass a little bit because you know what? He's good for my career. You got to do a little Tim Dillon voice there. You're good for my career. Where was I? Yeah, I didn't have to suck his dick that hard there, but I did. He's setting an example, and if they don't follow it, now this is true, they will be trusted less and less. You can't fool us anymore. We all suffer from this. Media, government, and corporations better learn this lesson and adapt or die with us in the chaos. There's no getting away with the bull anymore. It's not about being right, because Joe's often not right. Who is? Nobody has a monopoly on that. It's about being honest, and that Joe is. Mistakes are human, but in any era where dishonesty is nearly impossible to get away with, which is what you know. This is the era of receipts, baby. Yep. So. Get away with honesty is key. Right or wrong, Joe is transparent. And also Joe's not the media. He doesn't have to meet the standard of truth, transparency, or honesty. Condemning him is a condemnation not of him, but what makes him so trusted. That's what people understand. That's what you're really condemning, and that's the media. His triumph over a clearly antiquated, unevolved, often dishonest his triumph over clearly antiquated, unevolved, often dishonest institutions, I can't even read what I wrote right, that have lost their moral authority is truly remarkable and very needed. So basically I'm saying, like, you better start doing what he does. Yeah. You better start asking hard questions, having different points of view on, admitting when you're wrong. You know, Joe Fauci's questioned about the gain of function research. He acts like he doesn't know what's going on. Meanwhile, Obama shut it down. Trump brought it back. He wanted to do it. And he's going, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a guy from Long Island. I just want to go to La Piazza, MS-13's everywhere. No, that doesn't work. You're not just a guy from Long Island. You're not a guy from Long Island who doesn't know what's going on. Answer the questions, okay? You know, has your messaging been inconsistent and wrong? Yeah. Well, why are you pretending like you know everything when you don't know everything? There's a lot of problems. You lose credibility. You lose credibility constantly. You know, just admit, hey, we're catching up to this thing. We don't know a lot. This is what we recommend. This is what we recommend and why. These are what our studies. There's risks to this. There's risks to that. Be honest about everything. Stop trying to bullshit. It's like the thing with UFOs. Like, they finally came out. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody gave a shit. UFOs came out and people went right back to eating their fucking sandwich. After the government admitted that there's been things in the sky they can't explain. Jesse, I know, doesn't believe it. He thinks what's your theory on UFOs?
Oh, yeah, there could be.
Could be.
I'm sure there's alien life forms, but yeah. I don't know if they're here. You
don't know if they come. I told you, they come and jack off to us. That's why they hover and leave. That's the only explanation. They come. What do you do when you bust?
I was more interested.
You close it. You close the internet and you clear your history. That's what they do. What they do is they bust and then they clear whatever log they have, the history of where they've traveled. They clear that and fly back right to their planet. And then their boss is like, where were you? And they're like, I just went to the store, boss. It's like, did you go to Earth again and jack off? No, I didn't, I swear. So then how come you haven't scrolled at all? You have a clean internet history. That's not suspicious.
I wanted to see what Swing Trade Assassin wrote on your post.
Huh?
I wanted to see what Swing Trade Assassin wrote on your post.
Let's see. His name is Swing Trade Assassin. These names are funny. He goes, we can all agree that he's gotten a bit obsessive over the COVID episodes recently, though. Yes. Yes, he has. I admit that.
But COVID is still a big deal. I mean,
it's a big deal, but he's really focused in on it, and it's been great for his ratings. So he's now like, he's catapulted right back up to where he was, and Spotify's in a pickle. You know they're getting letters every day, and Spotify's going, our hands are tied. Our hands are tied. Because you know there's no way Joe signed that contract without going, I will say whatever the fuck I want. And they were like, fine, you can have Alex Jones on. He goes, in his mind he's going, thank you. He goes, no, they go, okay. They go, only if you don't have Alex Jones on, because I think he can't have money on. He probably went, fine. And that's why he probably had him the last big episode on YouTube that Tim was a part of that got like 40 million views, 50 million views. But then in his mind he's going like, wait till you see who I do have on. You know, he's a comic, dude. He's we're rascals. We're rascals. You can't hold him to the same standard you hold Anderson Cooper. And why is Anderson Cooper hosting a fucking New Year's Eve special with his drunk gay bestie, who happens to be very entertaining, and I like him very much? I love Andy Cohen. Listen, he talks about the housewives ad nauseum, and he makes women happy. Thank you. Give us a fucking break. My wife fucking loves Andy Cohen. In fact, when we did the Fusion, we did the AOL New Fronts, Andy Cohen was there, and my wife was like, it's Andy. I'd never seen my wife. My wife doesn't give a shit about anyone at all. Nobody. But Andy Cohen, she's like, oh my God, that's Andy Cohen. That's how much she loves Andy Cohen. And this was funny. This was probably the only good moment in Times Square. This was after Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper, the great-great-grandson of some Vanderbilt, who, that didn't help him at all, I'm sure, just watched Bill de Blasio at 11:59. They cut to him dancing with his wife at 11:59, the last moment he was mayor. And
Still
then Andy Cohen, or should I say, Tequila said this.
Hey, Happy New Year!
Okay, just a good old hey. That's a very good gay, innocent Happy New Year. That's how it starts. Happy New Year! You know, just you can hear this sardonic tone behind every gay guy ready to cut you up. Listen, honey, that fucking outfit, just every gay guy's got a mean sense of humor, but it's real funny.
Happy New Year, everybody. 2022. Don't you feel cleansed? Cheers.
I hope this is a great
mini shot. Let me tell you something.
Oh, shit. Please, tell us something, Andy.
Watching Mayor de Blasio
Don't go on a rant.
do his victory lap dance after 4 years of the previous term as the mayor of New York. The only thing that Democrats and Republicans can agree on is what a horrible mayor he has been. So, sayonara, sucker.
Wow.
2022. It's a new year. Because guess what? I have a feeling I'm going to be standing right here next year. And you know what I'm not going to be looking at? Dancing as the city comes apart.
So his gay was fucking turned up, dude. I just want to get the gay out real quick after watching that, because I think watching that made me a little gay. I'm just gonna say yes. Okay, I feel straight again. That was hilarious. That was Andy Cohen, who got fired from CNN now after this. It was funny when Anderson Cooper was like pulling his jacket back, because in the booth they were going, abort, 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 grab him, stop him. What do you gays do to stop each other? Do it. Put your dick in his mouth. Do something. Tell him you fucked his boy. Do something to stop him. Just distract him. Stop him.
Tell him his hair's uncoiffed. Tell him his hair's uncoiffed.
Tell him his hair's uncoiffed. Tell him his hair's out of place right now.
Tell him RuPaul just got COVID. Tell him RuPaul just got COVID.
She won't be able to host this year's whatevers.
My boy was excited, man.
He was excited.
Started using sign language. Turned into a gay Helen Keller.
Dude,
yeah,
he cut a promo.
Dude, he was as excited as if he got a phone call and his friend said we got front row tickets to Madonna tomorrow. That's how lit he was. He said, Lady Gaga just made a personal cameo for you. Here it is. That's how happy he would be.
He looked like he just found out Lil Nas X got casted as Miles Morales in the new Spider-Man.
That's the spectrum of gay men there too. Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen. It's like you got the flamboyant Andy Cohen who doesn't give a fuck, who
Yep.
And then you got Anderson Cooper all buttoned up, and you one of them you had to find out was gay. There's, that's a type of gay too. One type of gay is I had to find out he was gay. Like Tim Dillon, like you could spend 3 weeks with Tim Dillon, and then he'd be like, yeah, I was fucking this guy the other night, and you're going, what?
Yeah.
What? You remind me of a waiter at a steakhouse. What do you mean you were fucking some guy? Tim Dillon has had to find out he was gay.
Yeah.
And that's what Anderson Cooper is. Anderson Cooper had to make an announcement. Andy Cohen's announcement that he was gay was opening his mouth. So I thought that was a pretty fun moment. By the way, all these shows were putrid. I was clicking around on New Year's Eve. I haven't really been doing much, you know.
Who was the chick? He replaced the comedian who also got fired from the New Year's show, the one who chopped Trump's head off. What's her name?
Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, it's just one after another firings. I mean, that was a little crazy while he was president to cut his head off. Like, I mean, you can't do that.
You can't just
do that.
That was a little much.
Yeah, it's a little much. But then again, it's Kathy Griffin. Like, what's she gonna do? But the thing is, like, you can't do that and rile people up like that. You know, like that. I understand that one. That was dumb. That was dumb.
Yeah.
That was really like, that's crossing the line. I'm saying it as a comment. It's not funny. And you can't do that about a president, dog. Like cutting his head off. I mean, come on.
You can't do it. The cards are already against you. You're already a redhead, son. People don't like you.
Yeah, I don't like you already because, you know, redheads. What's the theories about redheads?
Lava fumes.
Lava fumes. I only know a few redheads. John Moses, Bill Burr. What's their theory? They're very funny, but awkward socially. Louis a redhead. You think redheads get mad when one of them makes bad news? It's like, because that's what Greeks do. Whenever like a Greek does something bad and it hits the news, Greeks are like, Greeks get like really upset about it and disown them quick. Do you think redheads have a community like that? You think Burr, when he saw the Louis news, was like, now fucking here comes the redhead jokes again. You're making us all look bad. So yeah, what are the genetics of redheads? Besides the fact that God hates them.
I don't know. Science, something science.
Yeah. Speaking of redheads, I hope Delonte West is okay. You know? That's a wild story. I mean, is that not a wild story?
Yeah, he looks like a light-skinned leprechaun.
Did he fuck LeBron's mom?
Probably.
I mean, those rumors wouldn't be there unless there was some truth. Although I do think about, we've talked about in this podcast, I do think about the Richard Gere conspiracy that he used to put a gerbil in his ass and how everyone thought that was true. And obviously that's, who knows, right? But I don't think it's true. Do you think that this could just be a rumor? Because
that's true.
You think it's true?
LeBron's dad's out the picture.
What's the word on the street in Suffolk?
You growing up in Cleveland? There's nothing to do in Cleveland.
Yeah.
See, mom got bored. She wanted some dick. She found some.
And his mom was kind of young, right? She had him at like 16 or 17.
Very young. So she still got it.
And LeBron's dad, I suspect, is the United States government. I think they made that motherfucker in a petri dish.
Yep.
You can't tell me some 6'9" guy who can run like a fucking sprinter.
They put 100% of genes into everything but his hairline.
His hairline, they forgot. That's the only thing they had to sacrifice.
They were like, boss, we don't have any more ivermectin. We can't pump it into him, son. We got to leave it. He's like, I just sent him out there.
We took the DNA from took the DNA from Karl Malone. We took Karl Malone's DNA. We took Michael Jordan's DNA. Who's Speedy? Maybe we took Bob Hurley's DNA. And unfortunately, you got Michael Jordan's hairline.
The only thing that was left was Robert Kelly's hairline.
Sorry about that. You got Robert Kelly's hairline. We threw that in there.
Now she definitely did it though. Probably to her credit, she was probably thinking about taking some down of his teammates like early on before, like maybe in high school. So maybe she's looking at a little bit of pedophilish feelings for LeBron's mom. Because this guy's been playing with like high school, like great athletes, you know.
Oh, what's this? Oh no, those are Photoshop, man. Those are photoshopped.
No, that maybe
he's not hanging out with her. Yeah, that's after he fell. I mean, look at him now, dog. He was like a contributing player in the NBA who made millions of dollars. And it's just rough to see. Supposedly Mark Cuban has personally reached out to him, went and met him, and has got him back on his feet.
Got him back riding horses.
Yeah. Is this him getting stomped? Like, this is look at dude, look at his beautiful wife, his family. This is like that Chris Herron. You ever watch that Chris Herron documentary?
Yeah.
This has that Chris Herron feel, where a guy who had it all just threw it away, man, on drugs. And that's what it was, right? Drugs.
He's got mental illness, doesn't he?
He's got mental illness, but I think a lot of, drugs often runs with that. Like,
you fall
exacerbates that when you start doing drugs. But then I guess the mental illness maybe makes you self-medicate. But look at what happened, dog. Look at that before and after. I mean, that's rough.
He looks like Steph Curry if he worked at Home Depot.
Yeah, he does. He does look like a dude who would walk up to you with a tool belt on. You know?
You ask him, hey, where's the lighting section?
Yeah.
He's not going to know, so he has to get his manager.
He looks like a dude who would climb up a ladder to tell you if they're in or out of the tiles that you want. Yeah, he does look like Steph Curry at Home Depot. Oh, man. Or he looks like a guy who works at Home Depot who just decided to play for the Mavericks one day. But it's a sad story, but supposedly I think things are going good, or that's the last I checked in on. But that's the thing with athletes. It's like you wonder, guys make a lot of money and you think that money solves all the problems. It's not true, It's not true. Money doesn't mean you're like, you're going to be okay. Antonio Brown, let's talk about a little AB now. One of the most phenomenal wide receivers the game has ever known. Big story, obviously. He's had a litany of problems, a history of problems from A to Z. We won't go into all of them. You could just fucking go read Bleacher Report, whatever. But Tom Brady is the one that requested. Nobody wanted to give Antonio Brown. What was the last thing he did before this?
We had the antics with the Raiders. He was holding out during practice. Was having beef with John Gruden. Wasn't really reporting. They went over in Hard Knocks when the Raiders were on Hard Knocks.
Well, maybe he got a hold of Gruden's emails and got a little upset.
Oh yeah, he was a precursor to that. Yeah.
Maybe Antonio Brown was the only one who. Maybe he just accidentally signed into John Gruden's emails and was like, "What the fuck is this all about?" So he got cut from the Raiders.
Yeah, and then when Tom Brady last year on the Patriots, he reconvened with Tom Brady. They got him on the Patriots, and he had that year. Then New England.
Right.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown, and then he took him from New England with Gronk.
So Tom went, and
Gronk retired, came over. Exactly. Antonio Brown came over after he was released by the Patriots.
Had a reunion in Tampa Bay. Yeah.
Had a reunion, 3 of them. So Tom Brady wanted him. Mm-hmm. That's the thing, and him and Tom Brady are good friends.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, I don't know too much about it, but let him stay at his house. Whatever, helped him out. Tom Brady seems to think when he talks, it seems like he's going through some stuff. Now, this is touchy for me, this subject. I don't know how many jokes I want to make about it because I feel like this is like just another story in the NFL of players acting erratically. And now we know about CTE and how prevalent it is. Like, is this CTE or is he just a sociopath or narcissist or whatever you want to call him?
Is it just CTE or is he just being a kid from Florida?
Or a kid from Florida should actually be in the desk.
Yeah.
It should be a mental illness.
Kid from Florida, taking off your shirt, throwing your equipment into the stands. That's Florida to me,
That's Florida. That's Flow Rider style.
Yeah.
When you walk into a psychiatrist's office, you should be able to be like, what do you hear from me today? Be like, I'm sorry, I'm a kid from Florida.
I wouldn't be surprised that when
you have kid from Florida? That's a bad one. Are you prone to owning guns and shooting bath salts and fucking...
Yeah, you don't have COVID. You're just from Dade County.
Yeah, I think I got brain fog from COVID. Yeah. Oh, no, it says here you're from Dade County. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. That could be it.
I would be surprised at him when he was walking down the tunnel. He had a little bit of ecstasy under his tongue.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, Damick says every football has CTE. Antonio Brown just got a little hot. He went for some air. That's what Spanglish is saying. Giannis, hope you and the family had a great New Year. That's not what this chat's about. Giannis takes his glasses off and on more than Antonio Brown gets picked up and dropped from teams. Good one. That's from Denton Visual. You got a little plug in there, too, wherever Denton is. Antonio Brown definitely has CTE. CTE is the reason Odell Beckham Jr. likes to get pooped on. All right. So there we go. I think CTE has something to do with it. Paul Verzi was telling me when you look at the timeline of that hit, and I don't know much about his prior history. I know he had problems all the way going back through college. That doesn't necessarily mean CTE. That's just spoiled athlete.
Yeah, young kid.
That's like a guy who comes from nothing, who's getting a lot of attention. There could be some family, issues. Who knows? But it also could just be a spoiled athlete who's getting everything he wants, and they act a little wild. But I don't know what he did actually in college, but I know he has problems going back. But Paul Verzi somehow, and I don't know if you know, because it seems like you know a little bit about it, Paul Verzi said that if you look at the timeline from that hit,
From Vontaze Burfict.
the Vontaze Burfict hit, which if you watch it, dude, it is one of the most brutal and dirtiest hits I've seen. Antonio Brown is coming across the middle, and Vontaze Burfict, who has a history of this shit, by the way, he's just a dirty football player. He's not in the league anymore, right?
No,
but there's like, you can go on the internet and watch compilations of his dirty hits. So this hit is one of the dirtiest you ever see. This is after the pass is clearly not caught, and Antonio Brown is helpless in the air, and he doesn't make a play on the ball at all. He takes his helmet and just drives it into Antonio Brown's head, and Antonio Brown is like knocked out cold. Antonio fucking Brown looked like he just went a couple rounds with Jake Paul, and he shouldn't have. Look at this fucking hit, dude. Look at this. Oh! And then look at how limp he is.
Yeah, he's out cold.
Look at that. Look at the hit from this side. Look at this. I mean, and you're right. If he was a couple of inches even more,
it wasn't square.
Yeah, but that's brain damage, man.
Yeah,
that causes gray matter in the brain.
Dude, he's out cold.
He's out cold. That's brain. That's getting knocked out. And this is football players. They have a lifetime of these hits, not to the severity, but I mean, Sterling Shepard and the Giants. He's like one concussion away from having to retire by the protocols, right?
What happened to Troy Aikman?
Troy Aikman
had to retire.
Had to retire because he got to the point where if you have another one, it becomes. I mean, you're on this sport. No, there's no sacrifice for a sport like there is this sport. So I don't think it. I feel for the guy. I agree with Tom Brady, and Tom Brady, who knows him the best, in that interview was like, he was very sympathetic, and if there was not a problem, I think Tom Brady would have been mad.
Yeah,
because it's like, dude, we're in a game.
He's about
we
that.
Need you.
Yeah.
We're in a playoff run. We already have. Who else is hurt on that team right now? My mind is blank. There's another big guy down. Their wide receiver, another big wide receiver, is hurt for that game. Gronk is out.
Godwin may be hurt too.
Yeah, Godwin may be hurt, and it's like we're in the middle of a game. We're losing. They had to come back and win it, and they won it by the skin of their teeth against the Jets.
Yeah, that's bad.
And but then there's a conspiracy theory. What was the conspiracy theory?
That he was about to hit his incentive for catches made in the game,
which he was, and he was going to get 300K.
He was like 8 or 7 catches away, and the team was preventing him from doing so. But he was injured the whole week before that.
But why would the team prevent him from doing so? You mean the play calling?
You don't want to play out. You play calling. You run the ball or you set up.
I don't buy that shit.
Passes for Godwin and Evans, but he was hurt that whole week before. He was cleared by doctors. He did not practice.
Right.
And Bruce Arians told him to go in. He said, "Yo, I'm hurt." He goes, "You go in. You do what I tell you to, or you get out the game." So he left the game. So if you're still hurt, but you suited up, that's a little bit of it's weird area. So is it the doctor's fault?
Bad if he says I'm hurt and the guy goes get in the game. I mean that's bad too.
Yeah, but people will say this is NFL football. You're a man. You're getting paid to do this. This is not Pee-wee. So
yeah, but no, that's not right.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. It's not right.
If that's what happened,
it's not morally right. If that's what happened.
If that's what happened.
Yeah.
If that's what happened, because when he ran off, he didn't look too hurt.
Yeah,
I mean he looked. He trotted off.
He looked like he just came off the stage at Chippendales.
Yeah. Yeah. He looked like someone just showed him a magic trick. So, we don't know. But I feel bad, making jokes about it. Because this is like a thing, man. This is like the guy's life. You know what I mean? It's like Barry Sanders did it right. Everyone's like, why did he retire? Why did he retire? He was in the prime of his career. He was clearly the best ever. He was just on a shitty team. But he's clearly the most gifted running back that game. I mean, the guy could run as fast as some people do vertically, fucking laterally. I mean, he would like hop jump. I mean, it was insane to watch. And he just left, and like people were like, "Wait," he's like, "I'm done." That's it. Because like, dude, I want to be able to talk. I want to be able to like hold my kids.
Yeah.
I want to have a life.
You want those memories, and you're not gonna do that for a team like Detroit.
Right.
You come off the field scoring 5 touchdowns, you go to your car, tires missing. Like,
right.
You don't want to do that.
Right. You don't want to keep getting that. He moved straight out of Detroit after that was over. Or
Barry Sanders talked to his realtor, said, "Put me where the white people are."
Yeah,
son.
put me. I want to live next to a dentist. So yeah, I mean, it's a big story. It's crazy because like it was fun to watch him. It was fun to watch him be on that team with Brady and have Brady have the options. This NFL season, I've gotten really into the NFL because it's my job now. Unleashed, listen to it on BetMGM, and NFL's great this year. There's a lot of teams that could win it. The Giants still got a chance in 2030.
2030.
Yeah, 20. You know, it's like the thing with the Giants, dude. It's like if you're gonna lose that bad, make it fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring a mascot out that's like dressed in a French World War II outfit. Let's let the fans play. You know what I mean? I want to see Saquon Barkley take a couple of quarterback fucking hikes. You know?
Yeah, turn it into a carnival.
Turn it into a carnival, dude. If you can have negative 10 passing yards in the last game,
just have Saquon
just
Barkley
have fun
out
with
there.
It, dude. Yeah, let the
cracking
cheerleaders play it
watermelons
down.
with his thighs.
Yeah, why is the line not live streaming? While they're playing?
We can't talk, son. New York sports is bad.
Oof.
It's in a bad shape. New York sports is going the same way the city is. Bad.
Our winning prospects are looking like some people's mortgages, son. 2033, 2034 at best.
Bad.
Yeah.
The Nets got a chance.
The Nets got a chance.
Kyrie,
now.
yeah,
Kyrie's
Kyrie comes
coming
back.
Yeah, Kyrie's coming back to play. He's unvaccinated. Novak, they say, is going to play in
It
Australia.
makes sense, though.
But they stopped him at the airport because of all the controversy. I haven't read the latest, but you know, the
makes
thing
sense.
about tennis is you talk about tennis. No, only 3 people care, and they don't watch podcasts. People, I love tennis. It's one of my favorite, but like.
I think you hit the location button by accident.
Oh, thank you. That's what we had. You know, did I just look like an old man?
Yeah. You got scared,
Who's
son.
here?
Who is that?
Who's here? I think someone's at the door. Someone's here. What was that noise?
You thought it was the ice cream man.
I thought the ice cream man was here, or someone rang the doorbell. So this Jeopardy, if Antonio Brown got CTE from taking his hits in football, Dennis Rodman got a CTE from hits of beer pong. Oh, that's what you call a subpar. Sometimes you go to Comet Roulette and you get a subpar. Don't just keep going. I'm sorry, but
Go for it,
fuck, my
son.
podcast just had a bad joke on it.
It's all right. I bombed last night at Greenwich. It's cool.
Yeah, Giants need to dress in drag and have RuPaul as head coach. Then I would watch them. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Someone said Rapeless Burger has had a great career. Okay, there you go. Yannis, I had sex with my dog. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I think I cured my COVID. So
That's Omar's wild.
that was an Omar's Wild. That's the guy we had on the podcast. I just forget his name because I have CTE. The dog guy.
Dog guy.
Yeah. What was his name
Ethnocology?
again?
Ethnocology?
Yeah, Ethnocology. Yeah. Go follow Ethnocology.
You do that to his dog, son?
That's a weird joke, but here's Omar's Wild. Omar's Wild is back. When you call his name, he shows up like the Candyman. He's the Candyman. Omar's Wild. If a man transitions into a woman, then how do they shrink their brain, cuz? That's a good question. I have that same question. Can you fully be a woman if you have the brain size of a man? That's a good question. Omar's Wild comes up with a good scientific question. Considering the fact that women's brains are smaller, if you trans and they look inside, you're going to have a female brain because it's half the size. Okay, now if someone were to clip that out and they would think for any chance that I wasn't clearly joking,
Them the rules.
them's the rules. Okay. All right, so this Jeopardy incident is very fun.
Yes.
We cover the fun stuff. We got a lot to get to. I went along on Patton Oswalt, but we got to also get to the fart in the jar. Women are breaking. It's a great year for women, as I said. Swimming records. They're making strides in combat sports. They're being appointed in D.C. to high positions. And now we have a Jeopardy winner. Women are doing great. What did Jared? Did she break records?
Yeah, so she's the first transgender contestant to qualify for the Tournament of Champions.
By transgender, you mean she's a woman? Watch your mouth.
My fault, Disney.
Yeah.
She won again on Tuesday's show, bringing her to an impressive winning streak of 25 consecutive victories, earning her $897,600 in winning so far.
So that's like a record.
Yeah. So when you get to the Tournament of Champions, you killed on regular shows long enough, so they bring it. It's like the big dogs now. So like,
so she's making. Yeah. So you can't claim you can't claim any physical superiority here. She's just balling. She's just balling.
Yeah, she's balling.
She's balling. And so she...
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. Or who knows?
Yeah, we
who
don't
knows
know.
What's going on down
We don't
there?
know.
Yeah, who knows? So she could still be balling.
Yes.
She's the highest earning and longest winning woman in Jeopardy history.
Right. So men still have the record.
Men still have the record.
So I guess, okay, here's the controversy. Okay, now I want to know why it was the story, because I'm going like, what's the issue here? Okay, so some women are a little upset. Boo-hoo, bitches. Boo fucking who. As Jesse Scaturo used to say, boo, boo fucking who. Step your game up, broads. Step your fucking game up. There's a new fucking badass bitch in town, and she's sweeping up. Step your game up. Haters. They can't even, you can't even claim any type of physical disadvantage. This is a straight just ass whooping. So if anyone's upset about this who happens to be a woman, or as I like to call them, turfishes, you freaking turfs, back up, bitch. Sorry, okay? You're the iPhone 11 and she's the iPhone 13, bitch. That's it. So I'm sorry. If women are upset, look, I know there's probably the previous all-time female winner was probably upset.
Yeah.
Says she broke my record, okay? But listen. I'm sure Roger Maris and his family was upset, right? When his record got broken, times change. Athletes get stronger.
Yeah.
They get stronger. They get better. They have health regimens and improvements and things they can take and shots and all types of things that they can do that athletes before couldn't do. So stop hating, okay? You're comparing two different eras, girl. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you lost your record, whatever your name was. Who was the previous record holder?
I'm looking now.
Who was the also ran? She can't complain, right? You can't complain. I mean, Jeopardy's Jeopardy's intersex. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got no complaints. I'm behind it. Amy Schneider. She looks like my friend's dad. Like, for real. I'm just saying, like, I have a friend who's I thought it was his dad.
Yeah.
Because he has his hair like that, too. He's in a Jersey cover band. Now, if she grabbed a bass, if you were in a bar in Jersey, right, drinking, and she went up on stage and grabbed a bass, would you be like, would you say I love these guys? I would say I love.
I wouldn't bat an eye.
Would it be transphobic to say I love these guys, or would it just be or would it just be what they call an honest mistake? At least they didn't crack any skulls open. Leave it to Patton to scoop our brains out this week. I don't know what that means. Uncle Paulie's where broads can't order sandwiches. So good for her. Good for Amy. Good for Amy, dog. I see no advantage to her at all. She just won and broke the women's record. So I'm sorry. It's just what it is. I guess there's just more women in the world now. There's a lot more women in the world. Are there as many men transitioning into women as men? That would be a good question to know. Like, who's transitioning more? You know? I would think it would be there's more men transitioning into women, because then you got people who are like really trans who want to transition because they're trans. And then you just got there's probably like a whole bunch of just like dudes who get off thinking of themselves looking as women. You know, because guys got those real dirty brains. So they just like put on a dress and they come, you know? And then they're like, I want to keep this going. There's probably a few of those too. But they're mostly just people who are really trans.
But this is good. She was.
I can't imagine there's many women who get off on the fact of being a dude, because that is a thing. It's not that's not transsexualism, right? But there is a thing, transvestitism, I think, where guys get off on putting on women's clothing. They get turned on by it. So that is an actual thing that happens. I don't know if those people end up transitioning. It was a joke. Don't fucking take this episode down.
She was robbed in Oakland, though, where she lives.
This is the fun part.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to the fun part.
Yeah, you got caught up in the trans thing. I got you, dog.
Yeah.
She was robbed in Oakland, where she lives, right on the 21st day of her winning. So she has $897 and $600 in her account currently, I believe. And she was robbed during that. Now, my question is, she's a transgender woman.
Yeah.
Right? At what point do you drop the transgenderness? Like when you're getting robbed, when your back is against the wall, do you just go back to your old gender real quick? Like if you're a woman and you're about to get
like a dude from the hood who's yeah.
Like you're like, no, please. And then like they pull out a gun. It's like, all right, listen, dog.
You drop your work voice if you're from the hood.
It's like, listen, dog, it ain't going down like that, all right? I just want to go home. I'm going to take my purse and I'm going to get up out of here, son, all right?
It's a good question. It's a good question. If there was a time to do it, that's the time you might do it.
That's the time you got to
you get a little mental advantage there.
But this is a
it's
good
funny
way.
though that this is how desperate times are. That someone was watching Jeopardy, she won all that money, and they were like, "All right, I'm gonna go rob this bitch."
Yeah.
As if she was carrying all that money out of the studio.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was probably like very disappointed. He's probably like, "What? You don't? I just watched you on Jeopardy. You got a lot of money." She's like, "It's not. It's all in Bitcoin." I'm sorry, Boomer. You got it wrong, Boomer.
It's a new crime now, though. You can watch game shows and rob the people who win on the game shows. Right?
Yes.
So if they win a trip, you know where they're going. They're going to Aruba from when? January? All right, I'm going to rob your house.
Yes.
I know how much you win and you walking out with a new Jeep Grand Cherokee. I'm gonna steal that.
Yes.
Like, you know, I know where you're going to be at. I know what you got. Son.
Just follow. You could just follow whoever. There's just going to be a bunch of people. But that's how desperate some people are, I think. That he was, or stupid too. I'm going to say stupid too. Because that's pretty stupid. Was she targeted or was it just random? We're joking that it was targeted. It wasn't targeted.
I think she was targeted, yeah.
She was targeted.
I believe it might have been targeted,
It was in Oakland, so.
So it could have been she just got robbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be weird if some dude watched her on the television and was like, she won that money, that money's going to be mine.
Yeah, try to commit game show larceny.
That was funny if she just sat him down and be like, let me just explain to you how this works. Okay, that's what they say on the show. Okay, then the government takes about 70%. All right, my agent takes 20. My manager takes 10. You really want to rob me? I'm only left with about a few $1,000s. He's like, fuck that. I have more money than you. She should be like, I should really be robbing you.
That's like a younger comic trying to pull up on an older comic that just got Just for Laughs. Like, yo, put me on your show. It's like, yo, I barely don't have any development deals right now, son.
Look, dude, I just did New Faces.
I just got here, okay? I don't even have an agent.
Yeah. So, I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
Is she okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, that's that. Plessy versus Ferguson finally got pardoned. I guess there's not much to say about that except, okay. I guess, right? It's like when the Catholic Church pardoned Galileo, like, how many hundreds of years after his death, you're like, all right.
Doesn't matter
Yeah,
now.
like, I mean,
You can't just like to look at stars. Son.
Yeah, like if you were really sorry, you would have said sorry before you did it. You know, it's like when a dude after a court case, after a guy gets convicted and shit, and then he reads that statement, like the victim impact statement or whatever, or the response to the victim, whatever it's called. You're going like, really, you're upset about the harm you caused? Are you really? Are you really that upset, or are you just trying to look good for the parole board? You know what I mean?
Son.
If you were that sorry, you wouldn't have done it. Mm-hmm. So, but supposedly Plessy's family is very happy about it, right? Like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what it does, but it's wild to think we were talking about that 1892. So slavery ended 1865. Then from 1865 to 1892, shit wasn't cool. Okay, because like you weren't allowed to be, if you were black, you weren't allowed to be like in a white train car. But then it was codified into law by Plessy versus Ferguson. So because he was an activist. Plessy was an activist.
That's my conspiracy here.
Okay, let's hear it.
I think Louisiana purposely did not pardon him because they are mad that they got played. Because Plessy was a part of like the nation's first NAACP. They put that all together for activism. He knew he was white, but he kind of looked black. So he purposely sat there, which set in motion the whole civil rights era and eventually got to the rights of black people that we have today. So I think Louisiana, they're a little bit mad. A little bit mad that someone slipped in some spices into the jambalaya when they were not looking. So I think that's why he wasn't pardoned.
Yeah. So finally he's pardoned posthumously, as they say. I mean, thanks but no thanks, I guess is what you're saying. But yeah, we were talking about, it's crazy. So 1892, 92 is when it was codified. And then that went till 1954, which was not a long... So basically, segregation was legal. And segregation is basically like, hey, this is your shit over here. It's second-class shit. That's basically a form of slavery. So, you know, that's bad. That is fucking bad. I mean, what else can you say about that except that sucks? You know? Anyway, not too much comedy to squeeze out of that. That's trying to squeeze an orange, but it's really just lemon. And you're going like, all right, it's making my face go like this too much.
Yeah.
So that's just, I guess, thank you. I guess you go, thank you. Yeah. When you get the reward, when you get the pardon, they hand him an award. It's like Mr. Bean when he took that. I remember he took that award and he just went up on stage and grabbed it and walked off. It's one of the funniest. You ever seen that? Pull that up. It's one of the funniest. Rowan Atkinson. That show was funny, dog. Mr. Bean.
The movie's funny too.
Yeah, they were funny. This is this is the best Oscar grab or whatever it was. Not the Oscars, because comedy never wins the Oscars because they always shit on us. But he, it's not a speech. He just ran up and grabbed it and walked off. It's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. This is how you would receive the pardon if you were Plessy's family. It would look like this. Someone should do a meme of that. I'm writing meme comedy right now. Someone should cover this story and use that as a meme of them collecting the pardon.
Yeah.
You know, when Jesse finds it in 2027.
Yeah, it's going to be
I mean, Elon Musk is going to be on Mars by the time you fucking find it.
No, I'm still looking.
It's good. It's become a thing on our podcast. People love when it's Franks and Beans.
Go bananas.
We got to watch a couple commercials.
It's a joyful, nutritious way to start your day. Plus, you can save up to $6 on General Mills cereal, Yoplait yogurt, and bananas.
Someone just said I'm the Mr. Bean of the comedy scene.
I'm taking a clip.
It's 2 ads.
Yeah, don't forget that Yannis is the Mr. Bean of the comedy scene. Why? Why am I? When is the Pope going to pardon Bill Cosby for mixing drinks without a license? Rachel Dolezal shed a tear today. Shout out Brian Landry's parents. Shout out Uncle Tony's Cajun Spice. Y'all know what a banana split is? What does that mean? What's a banana split?
49 seconds.
All right, I don't know if we can find it.
No,
Yeah.
49 seconds.
This one here?
Yeah. Should be quick.
Yeah, this is the best. This is one of my favorites. Check it. That was the Plessy family. That was the Plessy family procuring their pardon. Yeah, fuck you. All right, last thing. We got to talk about before we get out of here today is all right. Everyone knows Marjorie Taylor Greene's been suspended, so we got to find. That's very bad for this podcast. I used to get a lot of material from her Twitter. They suspended her Twitter for her wisdom. That bitch went to jail. That fake tech bitch went to jail. Kathy Holmes, whatever. And Gasoline Maxwell is behind bars. Big deal. But I want to talk about New York. Eric Adams, New York. And I want to talk about low-skilled labor. So Eric Adams made national news, I believe, because it's New York. I love the way he says New York, because he's from New York. So he's like, New York. He says it like New York. He almost says it like he was interviewed on that Bing Bong video. New York. And he's like, he talks like such a New York. He's like, kids are going back to school. And he goes, I know there was a lot of question marks, but you could turn those question marks into a big exclamation point, which was a good line about how kids are going back to school. You see that interview? He goes, it was his last line. The last thing he said was smooth as fuck. He goes, I know to this point there's been a lot of question marks about kids going in school, whether they're not in school, not going. He goes, well, we're here to turn all those question marks into an exclamation point. Yeah, which was a good thing.
He got Jay-Z in his council.
Yeah. So he's coming in swinging. He's been in office a couple days, and he came and he was interviewed, and he was talking about how he wants people to go back to work and he gave this whole chain of labor kind of analogy. It wasn't an analogy, really. He was just explaining. He wants those businessmen in their offices so they get their clothes dry clean. So blah, blah, blah. They go to restaurants, blah, blah. And then he used the word, what was it? Low skill labor? which has become a thing now. Everyone, are you a low-skill laborer? It's in the chat. People going, are you a low-skill laborer? Obviously, I'm a low-skill laborer. So somebody says something funny that Eric Adams could have added to that. Straighten out that punctuation mark, cuz. Yeah. And someone just said the Jewish space laser is Michael Rappaport. So that's what you get when you look down. Just random, just wild anti-Semitism. But kind of funny, too. So, and then he goes, then the low-skill laborers will be able to do... What was the exact quote?
He says it right here. My low-skill workers, my cooks, my dishwashers, my messengers, my shoe shine people.
Ooh, shoe shine people. That's... Those don't exist. Where do you even see shoe shine people
There's still some shoe shine.
I don't fucking shine shoes no more.
It's just 2022, not 1840, dog.
You hear that, Donnell Rawlings? I don't fucking shine shoes. One day Harvin's going to come in and go, I don't fucking shine shoes no more.
Yeah.
You got me? I ain't fucking opening for you no more.
Turn on the AC in here.
Yeah. Oh, well, you said there's a lot of people around, I don't know if you're joking. There's a lot of people around. Now go get your fucking shine box. The shoe shine thing's a little weird for him to say. That's a little weird.
For a kid from Brownsville, though, that probably lived that life and, before his time as a cop, came up through the ranks like that,
right.
He could probably relate. Now, if it was de Blasio saying it with a fake name, that's a different story. So.
Right.
We had one in my old office.
A shoe shine?
Yeah, in the lobby.
Yeah. So he's basically saying he wants everyone back to work. He wasn't doing but he did say those people go to work, then they eat at the cafes. He did do sort of that kind of thing. So and then people are upset because he called them low skilled workers, and all these, people who want attention are going, I saw one journalist quote, I worked in college. I had 2 waitressing jobs. I had this, and I had to quit because it was so difficult. And I was going like this. I wish I could send her me just playing the smallest fucking violin in the world. This is not the time for fucking political correctness. We're trying to get the fucking war with COVID over and save the country. So can you just shut the fuck up about what words he used? Because the substance of what he's saying is we got to get the economy going, guy. I know. Look, I had COVID. I know how dangerous it can be. I know these new studies about how it stays in your brain and your organs and all that shit, even if you had mild cases, are disconcerting. They don't know what the effects are. A lot of people have died. But also think of fucking the economy and all the people who are suffering for not being able to do their work. Okay, most people aren't dying from this thing. The rules are changing now because Omicron is proven to be less virulent. It's you got to catch it. It's just, that's it. We can't, even if this shit was the alpha strain right now, you have to open up. That's it. It's just, you have to open up. It's a Sophie's choice, but one now, it's kind of clear the choice you have to make. You can't continue. So it's you shouldn't be paying attention to anything other than the policy behind what he's saying. We're kind of sick of hearing about you nitpicking a word he said, low skill labor, and then you want to be this you're not a champion of the working people, Mrs. San Francisco. I went to fucking Barnard School. You're not a champion of the people, Adam McKay, with your fucking climate change video, while I'm sure you live in a $15 to $20 million home, which, let me guess, is powered all by the sun. Right, you don't got sneakers on that have rubber under them that are fucking made from oil. Stop it. Just fucking stop. You can believe in climate change and support, alternative sources of energy without being a fucking dick or a hypocrite. You're not a champion of the person just because you say you are on your Twitter feed. Okay? When you live in the most expensive neighborhood in San Francisco and sit behind a fucking keyboard and just go, Eric Adams, blah, blah, blah. Again, here we have some fucking Karen. Is this her? Is this her? Yeah, this is her, right? Here she is. No, that's AOC. The suggestion that any job is low skill. I mean, are you kidding me, dog? My job is low skill. My job is low skill. I'm yelling. I'm a delicious maniac yelling into a fucking camera. What is high skill about this? Am I doing fucking brain surgery, AOC? What is high skill about your fucking job? Getting elected because you're sassy? You were a fucking bartender 5 years ago. You got a BA. What is high skill about what you do? Yes, being a neurologist is high skill. Guess what? Even being a carpenter is high fucking skill. You know what's not high skill? Delivering my Chinese food to my fucking front doorstep and following COVID protocol. That is not fucking high skill. Me, Jared Harvin, or my dog could do that. If you train him to carry the fucking bag. You can't. There are some jobs that are low skill. It's not demeaning. That's not demeaning. My granddad worked in a fucking restaurant, flipped eggs. And then my dad worked for him doing low skill labor. How hard is it to learn how to flip eggs, you dumb fucking congresswoman? Okay? My baby will be able to flip eggs in about 3 years. You know what you can't learn in 3 years as a baby? To be a doctor. You can't learn how to create an app. There is a such thing as low skill labor. I mean, what are we doing? Why is she wasting time doing this? I'm sick of politicians tweeting their beliefs. It's like, at this point, we know what your beliefs are. You've made your beliefs abundantly clear. Now go negotiate. I'm glad there's someone like you who's like far left so you can counter the far right. And I'm glad there's a far right so they can counter the far left, even though they both suck. And I'm just, war makes for strange bedfellows. They got to balance each other out. You don't want to have one without the other. I want them both gone, but if you're going to have one, I want the other one so they can balance each other out. But, you know, I'm glad that there's someone there who's pushing for climate change and things like that. She's right about a few things. But what is this? You're spending time talking about low skill? Okay? And again, lecturing another black guy? He's a fucking working class black guy who worked his way up to borough president of Brooklyn and then mayor. You grew up in Westchester and you went to Boston College and your boyfriend is fucking, he hurts my back, he's so white. You go to Miami where you take your mask off and you eat your fucking scones and drink your cocktails and then you hit Twitter to be a goddamn working class pop star? Fuck you. He knows what it's like to be low skill. He's from fucking Brownsville, Brooklyn. You grew up in Westchester. You from Westchester, bitch.
It's no comparison.
And here, I want Eric Adams to go from teaching a theater class in Far Rockaway to teaching an afternoon school poetry class. Really? Who's teaching poetry? In Hunts Point, and then teach a college workshop at night, then wake up and make coffee across from CUNY and be treated like an idiot. I want Eric Adams and every damn politician to work a single day as a low-skill job. Guess what he did? Guess what he did? He was a cop. Before that, he probably had menial jobs that were low skill when he had to make money.
Yep.
He knows what he's talking about. Will you people shut the fuck up? Okay, teaching a poetry class is not low skill. It's no skill. You have no skill jobs. At least he didn't say no skill, because no skill would have been poetry classes and dance classes in Rockaway. In gentrified Rockaway, where we have hiked the prices up so much that they're comparable to Brooklyn Heights, where we kicked out working class people and minorities so we could have coffee shops and candle stores. This is where I tweet from. The new Rockaway, where Katie K. Selena lives, and where she teaches her poetry class. You know that's what's happened in Rockaway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is unbelievable. It's so transparent, it hurts your balls.
Not everybody needs to be heard or seen from, dog.
Yeah. I just hope people start looking at this and just going, ugh, like they're sitting at the Comedy Central, like they're sitting at the Comedy Cellar table in 2006 and they just hear Patrice or Jim Norton or Bobby Kelly or Rick Gervais go, ugh, ugh, ugh. How about talk about, ugh. So he's coming and swinging, and this is his first controversy, is that he mentioned low skill. You know, it's not good enough that he's a black mayor. He was a cop. He was a borough president, the first black borough president of Brooklyn.
Reverses diabetes with veganism.
He reversed diabetes with veganism. That's how he's going to cure this fucking city.
Yeah.
One damn tofurkey at a time.
Yep. He's gonna go into all the hospitals, replace the respirators with ginger and lime.
J Harvin 15 on all social medias. Follow him.
Yes, sir.
Patreon.com/Yanni LongDays. Go, please. Join bonus episodes. Go check this episode we just recorded with me and Jared Harvin. We'll be doing those in studio for a little while. See if you guys like that. I don't know what you want, what you like. I'm trying to figure it out because we goddamn need more money. I'll tell you that right now. So patreon.com/Yanni LongDays. And please join the Clips page. Reminder, join the Clips page. Long Days with Yannis Clips page on YouTube. And here's the thing for 2022. Remember, tell one friend, at least one friend, who you think might like Long Days. That's all it takes for our numbers to double just like that. So now let's get to some small business shout outs. What's up? I want to give a shout out to these special Patreon members, our small business shout outs. There's 3 spots open right now. We just had 3 people kick off. So get on in there right now at that level. Grow with us. We support you as we support you as you support us. Nate Linder, natelinder.com. All things social media, digital. He will help you out. He's a social media consultant, and he's got great rates. Go to natelinder.com to get in touch with Nate, to get your social media game to the top level, to get that #1 spot on Google, etc. He does all that for you. Grant Trower, any real estate need in the South Florida area, you go see Grant Trower, theatlanticrealtygroup.com. Phone number 954-591-6465. If you're looking for a spot in South Florida. A lot of people moving to Miami. Hit up Grant Trower. Chris Minetti in the South Jersey, Philly area. Get that check cashed. Go cash your check. Call Chris. 215-750-3730. Check that Guido out. See what's going on. Then we got the Bronx Brand. The Bronx Brand is amazing. You know it. TheBronxBrand.com. 15% off any piece of art, t-shirt, whatever print you buy with the promo code FUMES. Go check out all the original artists up there, all the art they have up there. Cool hip-hop stuff. It's the home of hip-hop. If you love hip-hop, if you love New York, you got to check out the Bronx Brand. And my boy Mike, he said his long hauler name would be Black Lives Matter. Yeah, I mean... Eastside Cheesecakes, Julian Gregory, you know what it is. They sent us the ex-New Yorker, the Baron Von Gingerbread, the Strawberry Crunch Queen, and the Pumpkins Mistress, and the Sprinkle Me Santa. Sprinkle Me Santa sounds a little sexual. Oh, Sprinkle Me Santa. EastsideCheesecakes.com, okay? Go right now. They send it anywhere. They will send you the cheesecakes in that special packaging that keeps it nice and fresh. Eastside Cheesecakes, all one word in the gram. The most amazing cheesecakes. Everything is fresh. We love you, Eastside Cheesecakes. And it's good to see that you're blowing up. For the free.us, all things music in Hawaii. It's an organization dedicated to providing artists from Hawaii a place to develop their craft. They host free shows. They list free shows. They post free music. And they love their local artists. So go find out about all the local artists in Hawaii that are showcased there. If you're going to Hawaii on vacation, for the free.us, find out about events and everything. Love that site. Some cool bands up there. ExclusiveAutoshipping.com. Get your free quote if you're moving your wheels, you're moving your car anywhere in the world. ExclusiveAutoshipping.com. Now we go into our new Patreon members. All right, welcome to the Patreon. Patreon.com/Yanni LongDays. Our new members, Bob Smith. Welcome. Clock Talk. S.A. Sa. Daniel Hagen. Mike Binder. Jacob Faust. He's German. Eric Vulga. Another German. Garrett Richardson. Daniel Holton. Jordan. Yanni helped me settle into my mental illness with grace. The Clerico. The Son of Shady. The Son of Sandy. Ben Carlisle. Cole Walton. Marcus Quifst. Fuck your name. Marcus Quivist. Qvist. How do you pronounce that? Quifst? Whatever. Queef. Marcus Queef. Kid Infinity. Robert Lyons, Favell, and Lee Morales. ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Thank you guys for joining. We will see you next week. Tell one friend about Long Days.
It's been a long